What's up, you guys, and welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Amanda Marie. Over here I love to discuss all things fragrance. So if you're someone that is into fragrance, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and become a part of my family. In today's video, we're going to be talking about fragrances I cannot wait to wear for spring. Can you believe spring is finally here? Is that what I really want to say? Can you believe that spring is here? I feel like I didn't get much of a winter time. Not that I wanted the whole full blown on snow power outage situation. No, I didn't want that. But I did want a little bit more of the cooler weather. I feel like where I live, we don't have all the 4 seasons. So like we have 2 seasons. And that is summer and winter. And I feel like we can have 2 seasons in one day. We can have full on winter and summer in one day. And there's like literally no spring. Like for me, I feel like spring only lasts for maybe like a month. And then we start hitting those high heat numbers. And I am not ready for that. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. I am not ready for the summertime. Last summer it was just so hot, and it was just ridiculously hot. It couldn't have been explained to me why it was so hot. It just made no sense at all. This video is not about the summer heat. This video is about spring fragrances. Let me stay focused because I am already venturing off. My mind is already, child. Let me really back in, Amanda. We are talking about spring fragrances that I cannot wait to wear. I want to say 2 of these fragrances I actually bought late last year, November, December. So I really wasn't pulling for them at all, only to just really test them and see how I felt about the fragrance. The other 3 I've had for some time now, but I really don't wear them that much. And you guys know I'm not the biggest lover of floral scents. When I think about spring, I think about flowers blooming and bees flying around, and y'all know them daddy long legs be coming out. I don't know if y'all have daddy long legs where you are, but here in Texas, honey, they this big and they hop around and they just annoy me. They're probably like the least insect that I have to worry about biting me, but they still are quite annoying. Anyway, that's what springtime reminds me of. Beautiful days where it is nice, bright, and sunny outside, but the wind is blowing and you can still feel like the coolness from the winter time that's kind of like fading us, leaving us. I like springtime, actually. I like springtime, and I like the fall, the beginning of the fall, where it's still, you know, kind of warm but cool, where you can actually go outside and enjoy yourself and not sweat. I like those times of the year. So I'm really excited to wear these fragrances. One I've actually started wearing like literally as soon as I got it, and I have not been able to put it down. I have it in my hand right now. I guess I'll talk about that one first. It is from the house of Bond number 9. So how I came about this fragrance, over the holidays, Bond came out with a Woman's Luxe trio. Okay, I will insert a picture of that trio where you actually got 3 fragrances. And the set came with Greenwich Village. It also came with, what's the one that's right on the tip of my tongue? Tribeca. Okay, it came with Nolita. I don't remember smelling this in the store. I really don't. I'm pretty sure I did at some point, because I did intentionally go into Saks and I wanted to smell all of the Bonds, and I feel like I did smell this fragrance, but it did not leave an impression on me, okay? And maybe because I had smelled so many and it was just hard to really distinguish each fragrance. After a while, you know, your nose kind of goes south. Like my nose kind of was starting to go numb. Like, what are you doing? My nose is like, okay, I'm just gonna take a nap right now because this is too much. But this fragrance did not leave an impression on me. It really didn't. Not to the point where I remembered it. But I am so glad I have this fragrance in my collection. I'm so glad they included it in that set, because this is the actual type of florals that I like. Because y'all know when you think about spring, there's going to be a lot of floral fragrances, right? Jasmine, tuberose, gardenia, you name it, orange blossom, neroli. There's so many white florals. This fragrance has a musk note added in the base that I feel just goes so well in this fragrance, along with a sandalwood note. It is just one of the prettiest white floral fragrances I've smelled in quite a long time. Well, one that I can tolerate. Let me say that. One that I can tolerate, because I cannot, you guys know I say this all the time, I am not that white floral gal, okay? I just, sometimes white florals can come off very heady to me, and they just turn me off because it's just loud to me. So I need something like musk, or you know, some oak moss or some type of woody component and added to that fragrance for me to actually be able to enjoy it. So I really enjoy this fragrance. I really do. In the top you get tangerine, you get freesia, you get lily, you get rose, jasmine, sandbag. In the base you get musk, amber, and sandalwood. This is absolutely a gorgeous scent. There is something very, I want to say very sexy about this fragrance. Okay, you know, at initial spray, and I'm gonna take you guys way back. This fragrance reminds me of Cerruti. I think it's Cerruti 1881. That is what this fragrance reminds me of. Well, for those of you that are not familiar with Cerruti, Cerruti is definitely like a white floral, kind of powdery, musky type of scent, and that's what this gives me. It gives me a beautiful, mild to moderate, kind of almost toned down white floral vibe. The opening, you get this beautiful tangy tangerine note. It doesn't come off like an orange. It is very tangy to me. And you know it's like a tangerine. It's not necessarily an orange. There's a difference there. You also get this beautiful white floral, but it's not over the top. It's a very moderate, toned down, almost white floral note in this fragrance. I don't pick up any rose at all. I mean, if I do, it's like a little bit slight rosy scent, barely even there, the rose, okay? But you get this powderiness and this musky note in the fragrance, and the sandalwood is not necessarily creamy. My experience with sandalwood a lot of times is that it comes off very creamy in fragrances. I don't get a creamy sandalwood from this fragrance at all. But when I tell you this fragrance has some sex appeal to it, it really shook me. It surprised me, because I was like, I'm not gonna like it. I was like, I'm really getting this set for Tribeca and Greenwich Village, because at that price, if I bought those two together, I would be paying $5 something, and just to have an additional, and just to have an additional kind of like bonus fragrance, you know, it made the gift set more appealing to me. But in my mind, I didn't think I was gonna like this fragrance at all. I was like, okay, I'm taking a chance, whatever. If I don't like it, I can always sell it, or whatever I'm gonna do with it, give it away or whatever. And to my surprise, I actually like this fragrance. I actually like this, you guys. I actually like this Nolita from Bond Number 9. It is a beautiful, beautiful scent. I probably would have never picked this scent up on my own, to be honest with you. Never would. Oh my God, it matches my shirt. Cute. But yeah, I probably would have never picked this fragrance up on my own. So I am so happy to have this fragrance. Let me tell y'all, I've probably worn this fragrance as much as I've worn Tribeca in Greenwich Village. Like, it gets a lot of play, okay, over here. Like, she gets picked up a lot. So we're gonna travel down memory lane for a quick second. People really don't talk about this fragrance anymore, and I'm pretty sure they don't talk about it anymore because it has been discontinued. But I feel like you can pick this fragrance up now on Fragrance X and Fragrance Net. I feel like I've seen it on Fragrance X for sure, like recently, over the last 3 to 4 weeks. I feel like I've seen this fragrance. This is Flora Botanica from Balenciaga. Remember the girls were going crazy for this scent about 2 or 3 years ago? I tell you, this fragrance was so talked about. It was crazy. I mean, if you were lucky, you were able to find this fragrance at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. Okay, and the girls that were lucky enough to find this fragrance was buying up all the fragrances. Literally, I want to say somebody messaged me here on YouTube, and she said, oh my God, I just went to TJ Maxx. They had about 5 of them and I bought them all. I was like, oh wow, okay. I mean, people was buying this fragrance up. I actually have a backup bottle of this fragrance because I love it that much. And I just want to take a trip down memory lane. Before, was this pre-COVID? Was this pre-COVID? I feel like it was pre-COVID. But I want to take a trip down memory lane with this fragrance. I feel like this fragrance is definitely the epitome of springtime. It just screams springtime to me. And it's probably one of the more rosy type of scents. I have another rose fragrance that I'm going to talk about too. This is probably one of the only like heady floral fragrances with rose in it that I actually dig. You know, the other ones that whole rose and white floral tuberose thing, I can't get behind. I cannot get behind it. But this is the only one that I actually really dig. Give her a little bit of a spray, even though I know what she smells like. She smells, child, divine, okay? Oh, so beautiful. This is classy, okay? This is classy. A little bit, okay, on the mature side. I'm not even gonna front. She grown, okay? She real grown. But she's gorgeous. She is gorgeous, stunning. In the top, you have mint. In the middle, you have rose, carnation, cannabis. And I'm trying to see if I smell the cannabis, child. Not really, but in the base you have vetiver and amber, and oh my God, all of the notes just play so well with each other in this fragrance. I don't really pick up on one more than the other. It's like smelling a rose, freshly picked out of the ground, okay? It has a little dew on it. Maybe it just rained, or maybe the sprinkler system just went off and it still is kind of wet. It's fully bloomed, definitely fully bloomed rose, okay? It is giving floral garden, floral botanica, like, you know, you walk into this botanical garden and it hits you. Have you guys ever been to, I want to say this is in the Venetian in Vegas. There's an area in that hotel where it's just nothing but flowers, and they have them in designs of animals and all different kind of cute things. But you literally can smell that garden before you even get there. You smell the aroma of the flowers, and everything is smelling sweet and florally and stuff like that. That is what this fragrance kind of is reminding me of. Now, I would say this fragrance is definitely not necessarily sweet like a gourmand. It's more sweet in the sense of a flower, a sweet rose. To be honest with you, I've never smelled a rose that was sweet. I smelled a rose that smelled good, but not necessarily sweet. This one does have a little slight sweetness to it, okay, but it's not a gourmand, but I do pick up on something kind of sweet in this fragrance. And green. This fragrance comes off very green to me, but I feel like this fragrance is definitely the epitome of a springtime scent. It's gorgeous. The projection is amazing. The longevity is amazing. It is just a beautiful floral rosy green scent that I cannot wait to pull out this spring. It probably will go into summer, knowing me, but I absolutely love this fragrance. And y'all know I'm not the biggest fan of rose, so if I tell you I have a backup bottle of this, you know that I enjoy this fragrance a lot, okay? This is Flora Botanica from Balenciaga. I'm gonna hit you guys with another blast from the past. Now, this is the Parfum version of the original, okay? And I'm talking about Romance from Ralph Lauren. This is the Parfum version, which was released not that long ago in 2021. Now, I was a big fan of Ralph Lauren's Romance back in the 99s and the 2000s. Like, that was pretty much what I would call my signature scent back in the day. I probably went through about 2 bottles of that fragrance. I loved it so much. Like, I just adored it. And one day I was in Ulta and I looked, I said, is that Romance? But it was in a more silvery, shiny bottle. And so when I looked at it, it said Parfum. And I said, oh, I didn't know they released a Parfum version. It still gave me all the feels that the original fragrance gave me, but it gave me something better. It gave me something better. So in this fragrance, in the top, you get black currant. You get, well, in the top, you get black currant blossom. You get pink pepper, you get violet leaves, you get rose, jasmine, lang lang. In the base, you get musk and patchouli. I actually sprayed this fragrance on my wrist earlier before I decided to record this video, and a note that popped out to me the most was the lang lang. I was like, hold on girl, what? It is right in that opening. It is like sweet and pretty and almost like a fruity type of, I don't want to say, it's giving me like a sweet fruity melon type of feel. It's gorgeous in this fragrance. I'm thinking that the black currant blossom is kind of the same as black currant, which is like a sweeter, fruitier smell, okay? It looks like a grape or some type of berry, and to my nose it comes off very sweet and fruity, and that is what I'm getting in this fragrance. A little bit of the pink pepper, not much, but the musk is definitely kicking in, and a little bit of the patchouli. The patchouli is definitely in the base. I don't pick it up in the opening of this fragrance at all. It's definitely in the base, and I actually like that it's a slight little hint of patchouli there, because you know patchouli can come off very earthy and kind of green as well, but I think it really complements this fragrance a lot. It definitely reminds me of that original Romance, but this one smells a little bit richer. It smells a little bit more full-bodied, a little bit heavier than the original one does, a little bit more mature, which I am now. Definitely more mature, definitely, okay? So I'm excited about this one. Again, this is Romance Parfum by Ralph Lauren. Next fragrance is from the house of Maison Francis Kurkdjian, and this is La Homme à la Rose. Are we gonna focus? All right. I felt like the one that was targeted for the girlies was a little bit too perfumey for me, and I'm not on that level. Like, I'm not on that time. Like, I don't want anything that's over the top perfumey. I need something that's a little bit more toned down, a little bit more sexier. That one was definitely giving floor. It was giving like pretty girl vibes. You know, this one gives pretty girl vibes, but sexy bad girl. Okay, that's what this one gives to me. I wanted the sexy bad girl. It's interesting, when I went on Fragrantica, right before I purchased this fragrance, I was reading a lot of the reviews, and a lot of the guys were talking trash about the fragrance and saying that it was weak. And I thought that was a little bit of a kiki. Like, that made me laugh, because I feel like it's way stronger than the female version. But I guess if you're a guy, you know, you feel different about fragrances. Like, your fragrances should be a little bit more manlier, especially if it's for a man, right? That's what I'm thinking. Like, so I guess they were upset because it's not as manly as they would have wanted it to be, but it's perfect for me, child. It is perfect for me. This rose, it is all about the rose in this fragrance, hence the name La Homme à la Rose. So in this fragrance, you get May Rose, you get Damask Rose, and there is a real difference between May Rose and Damask Rose, which I learned after I purchased Delina. The roses, they hit different. So definitely do your research when it comes to fragrances with rose in it, because May Rose may not be the same as Damask Rose or Turkish Rose. The roses definitely hit and smell different. Okay, I just wanted to say that. This fragrance also has grapefruit, it has amberwood, sage, and Spanish labdamen. And I do get a little bit of an herbal feel from this fragrance, from the sage, which is probably another reason why I preferred it over the version for women. Because I do like a little spice in my fragrances, especially if I'm gonna pick a fragrance that has a note in it that I don't particularly care for, like rose. I need that rose to hit different, okay? I need it to be a little different for me to resonate with it anyway, okay? But I do get a little herbal essence out of this fragrance. And again, that labdamen, I don't know if I ever talked about labdamen with you guys, but labdamen comes off kind of resinous to me, kind of like an ambery type of feel. Maybe some slight woods in this fragrance. Now, I would say this fragrance does lean a little bit more masculine in my opinion, but I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. Absolutely. Man, that grapefruit definitely comes through in the opening, and I'm not mad at the rose. I'm not mad at the rose. It's not like a heady type of rose or like an old-fashioned smelling type of rose. It is definitely more modern, and it is fresh. This is a fresh rose. Like, when you get that floral bouquet and you can tell that the flowers are super fresh, that is what this fragrance is giving. The rose is definitely full bloom, okay? But it is a beautiful scent, and I cannot wait to wear this fragrance for spring. It reminds me of spring, another rose type of scent. Imagine that. Imagine that. A person who is not into rose literally has just talked about 4 fragrances that has rose in them. I think I need to rethink this whole rose thing, because I'm just really like, really? You don't like rose? But you got 4 fragrances? Child. Imagine that. I'm looking at the notes for the very last fragrance that I want to talk about in this video. And guess what it has in it? Rose. Baby, I should rename this video to rose fragrances that I never thought that I would ever love. I don't know, this is crazy. Okay, this is my last fragrance, you guys, and this is from the house of Kilian, and this is Voulez-vous coucher avec moi. Say that 100 times, okay? Now, I picked this fragrance up, I want to say, on my actual birthday, actually. I drove out to the outlet here, was not in Houston, it's going out towards Galveston. I went out there and looked up, they had this fragrance and they had it in its original coffret, so y'all know I had to pick it up. And I was not able to open the fragrance up and smell it in the store. I actually had to purchase it. So I was just like, you know what, it was a total blind buy. It was my birthday. I needed something, so I was happy that they had this fragrance at the cosmetic company store. That's why I bought this fragrance. I don't know if I mentioned that. It was just a pleasant surprise. So I picked it up, got home, opened it up, sprayed it, and I was actually surprised. It actually reminds me of a fragrance from Kilian that I really, really do love, and that is Good Girl Gone Bad in a way. In a way, okay? In the dry down maybe, but not in the opening for sure. In this fragrance, you get notes of Lang Lang, tuberose, gardenia, vanilla, Bulgarian rose, sandalwood, and cedar. This fragrance has a very mature feel to it. This would be like a springy date night fragrance. I don't think that I would necessarily wear this one. Well, I say that, but as this thing is drying down, I think I'm changing my mind. It still has a very mature vibe to it, like that I cannot deny. And it's probably from the gardenia. But you know what has my heart in this fragrance is the Lang Lang. The Lang Lang is sweet, it's so pretty, and then that sandalwood and the dry down is very creamy. Like, it is one of the most creamiest sandalwoods I have smelled in a very, very long time. There is something creamy, almost on the verge of lactonic with this fragrance, to be honest with you. It was just something different. This is definitely something different. Now, listen, I did look at the notes while I was buying it, and then I saw tuberose and gardenia, and I was like, oh hell, I'm not gonna like this fragrance. The tuberose and the gardenia actually work really, really great together, okay? You know, those are two heavy floral fragrances, okay? And those two could be explosive in fragrances and actually be a bit of a turn off for me, but I actually like this. I think it's the gardenia that's giving it that kind of mature, grown woman type of smell. I don't want to say the other terms, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just say grown woman. Y'all know what I mean by that. Real grown, okay? Grown enough to be my mama's mama grown. I like it. I like it though. Surprisingly, and not surprisingly. I don't know, I feel like I'm turning into my mama. But I don't know, that could be a good thing or a bad thing. But I guess I'm meaning that I'm like starting to really settle in. I'm starting to get comfortable in these mid-40s, okay? And it is really showing up in my choices of fragrances. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. It is showing up in my choices of fragrances. What's happening? What is happening? But this is a different play on the other fragrances that have tuberose in it, like Good Girl Gone Bad, fragrances like that. So, you know, we're gonna see. I think that I have sprayed this on my skin. I have worn it for a full day, one day. I have not went back to it. I sprayed it, it was when I got it, like the next day. I think I wore it that for a full day. But I've not worn it since then. So I'm actually really excited to really give this one a full wear and just see how I feel about it. This is Voulez-vous coucher avec moi from the house of Kilian. Those were my fragrances that I cannot wait to dive into this spring. Comment down below, let me know what your favorite springtime fragrance is. Recommend a fragrance to me. What do you think I should like put my nose on? I'm actually kind of like in a fragrance, I'm not in a fragrance slump per se, but I haven't really been excited about any like new releases or anything like that. Well, I am excited about this new Kilian release that's coming out, Blue Moon Ginger from the house of Kilian. It's gonna be it's a part of his liqueur line. It's a new fragrance. I'm excited about that one. I have all of the liqueurs except for Roses on Ice. If I find Roses on Ice at discounted somewhere, I probably will buy it. It's probably on Fragrance X, but it needs to be discounted all the way down. If you are a lover of fragrances, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button. Make sure it turns gray, okay? Also turn on your notification bell. That way you'll be notified every time I upload a video and you don't miss out. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It is so important for the growth of my channel, you guys. And I want to send a big shout out to all my new subscribers. Yay! I see you guys and I appreciate you guys so much. Keep coming, okay? Keep coming. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you are having a fabulous day and I hope you are smelling good doing it. I will see you in the next video. Mwah. Bye.